Hello, tour and activity operators. It's been a long time coming. I have not given you an update in a little while, but the new website builder is coming. We have been heads down working our butts off to get this out, and then also our new AI receptionist product, which has been quite a trip. It's been really fun to do that one. The technology is absolutely amazing. A lot of you guys have been asking, when's it coming out? When are we going to be able to onboard? I have literally a wait list right now of people waiting to jump on this, and we have stopped onboarding customers onto our legacy product because we want to get you guys on the new product. And so we're very excited, and I wanted to show you guys where we're at today. So this thing essentially is like a headache-free way of editing your website. So the idea is that we will actually build it for you, and then when you want to change something, you can just go in here and change something on your own, not talk to us. And we've put up guardrails so that you can't mess it up too bad, right? Everything is built in such a way that if you are used to wrestling with WordPress to try to get it to do what you want it to do, and you're just like, why is this thing broken? Why is this page broken? The idea of our new website builder is that it's supposed to make it super easy for you to be able to manage your website. If you need to change something, you can do so. If you need to add a menu item, you can do so. The idea is that we should make it really easy for you to be able to manage your site and be able to start doing stuff that you haven't been able to do before. And I'm going to show you a couple of those things. So the first thing I'm going to show you product blocks. Product blocks are really cool. You have products in the platform. So products are managed separately. So you essentially go in and you'll be able to manage all your product information in a single place. Once your products are in, you can have them show up in different places on your site by just incorporating a product block. This is the new editor experience that we've built. This is a work in progress. There's a lot of polish that still needs to go into this thing, and so excuse the dust. There's still a lot of work that needs to get done on this thing, but we are moving very quickly on making those changes. Reviews, for instance, are pulled in automatically, so it's literally you just add a section and boom, reviews show up. You want to essentially change the logos that are showing up on your website, click on edit, you go back, here's all the different logos that are showing up, you can click any one of them, move them around, delete them, etc. It's really easy. We're trying to make this point and click so that it's super easy for you to use. Same with image galleries, for instance, and text. Imagine, so I've got this, you're like, oh, actually I want to display it in a different way. You just go into a little layout, you say I want to swap this left to right or right to left. So really easy in that sense. Everything is obviously designed for tour and activity operators, so it's very tour and activity specific. So here's an example of a product grid, which is pretty common for a lot of tour businesses. The problem is that, let's say you have 10 different products on the website, but 2 of those products are the ones that sell. They are your featured products. They make up 80% of your revenue. Before, you were essentially stuck displaying your products on the homepage in a very linear way. They would just be in the grid and you can't really do much. The only way to really highlight those products is to essentially pull them out into the nav bar. And then in the navigation bar, you can drop down and be like, hey, these are our featured products. We wanted to give you a lot more flexibility in that. So what we wanted to do is allow you to group products by category. So if you have a featured products that are your money makers, you would pull those into a featured category. And now if I go in here and I click on add a section, I have all these different sections I can pick from. So I can pick FAQs, heroes, highlights, HTML, logo marquees, etc. So these are all essentially pre-built blocks that you can just stack onto a page. This makes it very easy for you to come up with any orientation of content that you want for any page. So tons of flexibility. So let's say I wanted just to put in my featured products. I have my complete grid of products here, but I want to show just my 2 featured products. I want those to show up at the top. I want them to show up above everything else. I want you hit the homepage, you see the hero, and then the call to action, boom, here's the 2 products that are featured. So I'm going to go in here and click on products. I'm going to call these best sellers. Discover our most popular charters. I'm only going to put in 2 because I only have 2 of them in here. And I'm going to display compact. Or no, normal. So now I have my 2 featured products that are in here. And I want to take this and I want to move it up. So I want to bring it up above in the carousel and above the reviews. I just want that to be the first thing that people see when they hit the website. So now I have my hero. I can go down and boom, I've got my 2 featured products. And then we have the reviews and logo carousel, more information about who we are. And then you've got your grid there with the rest of the products. So this is the kind of new paradigm that we're shooting for. And this paradigm is that you should be able to, like Lego bricks, stack the combination of blocks that you need in order to achieve your result. So for boat charters, that might be different than from food tours, for instance, right? We have traditionally performed very well for boat tours and water-based activities, but for food tours. Why? Because the website was designed in a very specific way, and that specific way didn't lend to do that well for certain subsegments of our industry. And one of the biggest things that we've been wrestling with for a while is how do we give enough flexibility for all these different subsegments? How do we create recipes? How do we create a recipe that we know works for most food tours? How do we create a recipe that we know works really well for charters? How do we create a recipe that works really well for ATVs, ATV rentals? So the idea here is that when you create a new page now in the platform, that there will be a recipe. So I'll show you actually how this looks. If I go into my settings, and I'm going to go into manage pages. So I have home, about, blog, contact, etc. So if I go to my about page right now, it's empty. So you can see if I want to get started with this page, I can start from scratch. So I can essentially put my Lego blocks together the way I want to. So if you're an advanced user and you're inspired by some competitor out there or something like that, you can go in here and be able to piece it together yourself. Or if you just want to say, hey, I just want the thing that you've figured out works, you click on choose a recipe. And we have here, for now, 4 recipes. We'll be adding more recipes by industry. We'll be adding recipes by page. We'll be adding recipes by a certain type of thing that you're trying to achieve, objectives, landing pages. There's going to be all kinds of different recipes. But with the amount of flexibility that this new system affords us is one of the reasons why we spent so much time rebuilding our entire infrastructure is to get to a place where we can be much more flexible and prescriptive in our website construction, right? In the way that we construct websites. And there's a lot of new AI stuff that we're wrapping into this as well that I'm going to show you at a future date. So the idea here is that now you can construct a page and construct any page on your website very quickly and very easily. And you don't have to have any technical expertise whatsoever to move sections around and do things the way that you think you need to do for your website. Let me share with you shared sections. So shared sections are pretty cool. This is when you reuse components across different parts of the site. So let's say, for instance, your FAQs. So FAQs were very important and are now even more important in the age of AI. There is a lot of documentation and research that shows that if you want AI to index you, you want to really lean into building great frequently asked questions. So now essentially I can go in here, I can edit the section, I can add all these FAQs. You can see how easy it is for me to essentially modify and change all my FAQs. But now if I can make this a shared FAQ, so I can essentially click on make this a shared one. We're going to call this shared FAQs. So now this is a shared block. And if I go into my about page, for instance, let's do contact. I'm going to choose a recipe. I'm going to use my contact recipe. It's going to add all the blocks in here that I need. So I have my contact form here. I have my header. This header is blank right now because they just get added as blank entities for now. So let me just put in an image in here. And I'll just do the header and the image. Look, we found a bug. Maybe that was a bad image. Yeah. Actually, I'm going to make this a little shorter. Yeah. So I've got my header, I've got my contact form, and then I've got my FAQs. And what is that? It pulled in a shared section. So the FAQs that I already wrote on the home page just got imported onto this page as a shared section. If I didn't have it and I still wanted to use it, I click on add a section, and now you can see I have shared sections and I have a shared FAQ. So you can create these reusable blocks, and then if you update that block in one place on one page, it'll automatically update on all the other pages. This is really cool. If you take a product in and out of season, so if you have both winter products and you have summer products, you could create a winter product category and a summer product category, and then you can just swap out the ones that show up on the website without having to go through like a whole show about where your products are going to be showing up and stuff. It's really easy and really cool. I think it's going to be a little bit of a learning curve, as most things are, but it's coming together really well. We're adding more and more options and flexibility in the way that all of these components and blocks display. Each block has different variations, and it's coming together really well. The biggest question I've been getting right now is, Vitaly, when are we going to be ready to onboard onto this? And the answer is that we are currently onboarding alpha customers right now. So we have a number of customers that have raised their hand that are a little bit more technical, who want to play around with new technology, who really want to break stuff. If you are technical and you want to try it and you want to break it, let me know. I will let you play with it for free if you give me the bugs. I will absolutely let you play with this thing. Right now, we need as many people using the system as possible and finding all of the things that are wrong with it. So if you want to play with it, let me know. Thanks so much for hearing me out today. I hope you have a wonderful day and weekend.